Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. I am Gigi of GGmadeit.com. You know, the knitter, the blogger. Let me get this right. The Empress of Orange, the iconic Orange Lady, the Orange Goddess, Shelby's Mama, Gunner's Granny. Hi, guys. Whew. So I'm back. And I know last video I just kind of rolled with the footage that I took from Vogue, from Vogue Knitting. But today, I want to just sit and talk with you guys. I want to talk about my feelings. I got mail. I got mail. Come on, come. Ah, 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 I got. So I want to share some mail with you. I want to tell you what I can tell you of my upcoming schedule. So you guys ready? Let's do this, brooding.
Oh, come here, baby.
I got mail. Come on in here because I got mail. You know you want to see my mail because I got mail. So we're going to start with that. Now, some of this I just recently received. Others I had for a while. But as you know, Vogue was bananas, like busy, busy, busy. So I didn't get an opportunity to go over it. So the first thing that I want to show you, and this is probably backwards. If it is, forgive me. But it's titled Chunky Knits, and it's by Elisa Ray. I think I'm saying her name right, Graciano. On Instagram, she's known as Black Sheep Made. And this is a book of over, I want to say just at a quick glance, over 20 patterns. It doesn't say really quickly, but what I like about it is it's broken up into, and you can't see the glare. It's broken up into sections. You got scarves, you got cows, you got beanies, you got furry friends, you got home, right? So there is quite a few patterns in here. Just looking at the scarves, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 scarves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cows, 5 beanies, 4 patterns in the furry friends, and home you have 6. So yeah, quite a lot of patterns in here, and it's $19.99 US, right? So you guys that have been with me for a minute, you know my first love was the big and bulky. You know my motto was go big or go home. You also know a part of that was that instant gratification, because when you have your big bulky yarns, you fly through your project. So you get to feel a sense of accomplishment, in my opinion. And then when it comes to mistakes and things of that nature, I think when you have really large stitches, it's easier to see. It's easier to read your stitches, which I think is very important to be able to, like if you lost your space in a pattern, you can read your stitches to kind of see what you did. So I've always been a fan of the bigger yarn for that reason. And then I was just a punk. I convinced myself that I was afraid of, or I couldn't use the fingering, and I don't know that I'll ever use lace weight. But you guys follow me. So you have quite a few lovely patterns in here. I think this is an ideal book for the beginner, right? You get an opportunity to finish something and feel a sense of accomplishment, because you guys know how I feel about being able to say, I made that, when someone asks you, Well, where did you get that from, right? You even get an opportunity to play with some color work, right? And if you ever wanted to try color work, why not try it bulky, right? You'll get through it quicker. And it looks like a lot of this is simple garter stitch. So if you can do your knit stitch, you can do that. So I think this is a great, great book for beginners. Great book for beginners. And like I said, it gives you a little bit of everything. You have pillows, rugs for the house. You have hats, cows, scarves. It's just a little bit of everything in there. And everything is done with your big giant yarn. So it even has something in here that you would arm knit if you're into that. I remember that was all the craze at one time, knitting with your arms. So that's Chunky Knits. So that was one thing I got in the mail. And the other thing I got in the mail comes from Jeanette Sloan, who I had the pleasure, the absolute honor of meeting this weekend at Vogue. I can't say enough. I want to say that Lorna, because I got to meet the two of them together, but I want to say Lorna connected me to Jeanette. I had never heard of Jeanette. I did not know that she was the accomplished designer that she is. So, we connected, we talked, so forth and so on. Last year happened. Everything was exploding for folks. And I'm watching her just be out there, being a voice, standing up for the cause, which I love. But I didn't think that I would ever get an opportunity to meet her because she's from the UK. So imagine my glee when I realized that as a part of the Diversity Council for Vogue, that she would be present here in New York City. So when I saw her, everything stopped. I had to go give her a big old hug. And I had to tell her and Lorna what they meant to me and how much I appreciated their efforts in this whole diversity conversation. So that was really good. But she had said to me, "Did you get my book?" And I'm like, "What book?" She was like, "I sent you a book." And I'm like, "Didn't get it." But I came home and it was in the mail. So this is Warm Hands. It's edited by Jeanette as well as Kate Davies. And you have these are all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 either fingerless gloves, mitts. There's actual gloves in here, and they kind of cover the gamut. You have texture, you have color work, you have charts if that's what you're into. You guys know I run when I see charts. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful patterns in here. Look at that. You guys know I love texture, right? Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So I will admit I never really got the craze behind a fingerless mitt. But I eventually caught on. But nice, right? You guys know I love texture and the cables. So there's 15 patterns in here by a variety of makers. It looks like the skill level goes from one extreme to the other. And yeah, designers that I hadn't heard of before. And then they actually have a pair of gloves in here. Now, I've done mittens. I've done fingerless mitts. I've never done gloves. Anybody do gloves? I'm afraid of the fingers. I'll say that. Because you guys all know how I feel about a DPN. So I'm thinking with the circumference so small as a finger that I would absolutely have to do DPNs to accomplish that. Nice, right? Nice color work. So that was the other thing I received in the mail. And something else that I received in the mail, I'm going to share that as a part of letting you know what my schedule is upcoming. So let's talk about that next. You want to talk about that next? I think we should talk about that next. So guys, hold on. I need to find something so I'm sure that I'm saying this properly. Bear with me 2 seconds here. Okay, so let me start out by saying folks being paid to go to events is something that other people had happen to them. Having multiple requests for your presence is something that happened to other people, not me. It is something that was a dream of mine. I think I've shared with you guys that my dream job is to travel the world and go to all of these fiber events and bring it back to you guys, those of you that don't have the opportunity to attend, right? So when I tell you that my schedule is booked for 2020, like my mind is still like, right? I cannot believe what me just being me has created for me and in the sense of opportunities. So next up, right, or the first of my traveling for the year is Stitches Midwest. No, Stitches West. I'm saying it wrong. Stitches West. So I will be going out to California the end of next month for Stitches West. If you follow me on Instagram, then you will see I have announced each vendor that I will be doing meet and greets with during the time that I'm there. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you need to do that because that will keep you up to date in the here and now as far as what I'm doing, where I'm going, or whatever the case may be. If you're satisfied with just waiting a week to get the updates, then you're in the right spot. So that's next month. So next month we have Stitches West. I'll be out in California. I'll be there, every day. And there is opportunities. There's opportunities every day for you to meet me, whether it's at a meet and greet or if it's in the playground. And as we get closer, I'll still be releasing more of my schedule and where I'll be so that if you are attending and some of the things that I've already shared doesn't work for you, I will share some other opportunities to come and get this hug. Come on, come on, come on. Right? So that's February. March, I will be going to Montreal. Yes, yes. The ladies of Espace Tricot have asked me would I host their knit night for Knit City this year, and I am so gassed. So I will be the host. Me and Julie Asseline will be hosting their knit night. We are planning so much fun. This is just an FYI at this point because, as far as I know, it sold out really, really quickly, which is a good thing. But then I feel bad for folks that didn't get an opportunity to get a ticket. However, I'm still working out if I can stay the entire weekend because I was just going up for Thursday, turning around and coming back on Friday. But I understand Knit City is happening over the weekend. So I'm trying to work out staying for Knit City, if not the entire weekend, at least until Saturday. So I'm trying to work on that. However, if you did get a ticket for Knit Night, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Julie and I have already had a couple of conversations and we're looking to make it really fun. So I'm excited about that. So that's March. April is DFW. April, yes. So I told you guys about uh, Knitter's Planner. This is why I love it, because just like regular holidays, it has our dates in here. So April 2nd, that weekend, is DFW. And I will be there as well. Still not quite sure what I'll be doing and what my schedule looks like. As that get closer and I get more details, I'll let you know. But guys, how awesome, how amazing is that? So my message in this is, I don't care how far-fetched you think your dream is to you, right? How out of reach you think your dream is. Shame on you if you don't keep attempting to make that happen, right? And the thing about it is, in this case, me just being me, the opportunities came to me. I didn't even have to hunt them down, right? They came to me, and they keep coming to me. So, my thing is, we all are our own worst enemies. We treat ourselves worse than anybody could ever possibly ever think of treating us. So what I'm saying to you is, if you have a dream, you have a desire, regardless. Guys, I'm 53 years old. Okay? 53 years old, and now I'm getting to live my dream. Now I'm getting to travel and go to these places, events that I never would have been able to attend on my own. You guys hearing me? Don't give up. Don't give up. And I don't care how far-fetched you think it sounds. I need you to take active steps to live that dream, to do everything that you can so that it happens. Because imagine if you didn't try at all. You'll never know if it was possible. So that's my schedule. I will put some details in the down bar. Whatever I can share, I will. So I'm excited about that. So hopefully, if I'm coming to an area near you, I'll get to introduce myself to you. I have a hug. I have a bag full, endless supply, endless supply. So that was that. You want to talk about Vogue? Let's talk about Vogue. So here we are, a week past Vogue Knitting Live, New York City, 10th anniversary, right? So you guys know that I have attended Vogue in the past. And I will honestly say to you that although I have attended, I want to say this makes my sixth time. I'm between my fifth and sixth time attending Vogue. I want to say 2014 was my, I don't, anyway, my point in saying all this is, although I've gone and although I've had a good time, I can honestly tell you that I've always felt like an outsider crashing a party that I wasn't invited to. I've often felt like I was tolerated versus accepted, if that makes sense. But that didn't stop me, right? It's a public thing. Anybody's welcome. I always went. But there was always this nagging sense of not belonging. I will be honest and say that I sought out relationships. I can't say I sought them out, but there were certain things or functions that I would see people attending, and I always felt like, wow, I would like to, go to these events. I wonder what I need to do to be worthy of being invited to these things. And yeah, I was having a case of what the kids call FOMO. But what I've learned over the years in my life, and specifically in our knitting industry, what I have learned is what's for me is for me. Where I'm supposed to be is exactly where I will be at the exact moment that I need to be there, and not a moment before that. For the first time, yes, I watched events that were going on that I didn't participate in, and I did not feel like I missed out on anything. I did not. As you guys know, I was working this year at Vogue. I was Adela's booth babe, Lola Bean Yard Company, and I don't have another way to say this other than I was home. I felt like I was exactly where I needed to be. I did not feel like I was missing out on anything, because truth of the matter is, if you didn't find your way to booth 417, you were missing out because we had a party. You hear me? So I say all this to say, we always, people use the phrase, you want a seat at the table. Bring your own table and your own chairs and your own silverware. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to, sit with the popular girls, if you would. Am I making sense? I feel like I'm not making sense. At any rate, this was the first time that I felt like I was at home. I did not feel like I was peeking in on somebody else's party. I felt like I was right where I was supposed to be. So that was the first thing that was really good about Vogue for me. And I can't thank Adela enough for allowing me a front row seat to watch her star rise, because that baby, whew, so proud of her. So that was that. The other thing that was like glaringly obvious is that Vogue listened. Vogue Knitting Live listened. If the conversation was diversity, if the conversation was inclusion, Vogue listened. What do you mean, Gigi? The color, the array of color at Vogue this year was almost blinding, and I am not talking about the yarn. Yes, Vogue Knitting Live takes place in New York City, in the heart of Times Square, right? So you would think it would be a diverse crowd, but that has never been so far from the truth. Not only was the crowd diverse this year, the vendors were diverse. Vogue listened. It honestly, prior to this year, I could tell you exactly where, it was like the vendors kept their same spots. They were in the same booths year after year. So it was the same old crowd. Not that you were not satisfied with the product that they delivered, or not that you didn't rush to their booths to get whatever was the hot and popping thing, but it was the same vendors over and over again, right? And you didn't get much diversity in the face of the vendors at all. If you had anybody, Neighborhood Fiber Co. was always there, right? Lady Di, the last few years, has been there. So, right? And they are fabulous, both of them. But there's so many more out there that needs the opportunity. So, for example, this was Adela's first time, right? And based on her success, I'm so very sure it won't be her last time, but this was her first time. So this is just Vogue listened. I think some of the arguments are that, these companies are not listening, they're trying to whitewash it. I can honestly say to you, Vogue listened. One thing in particular that I really, really like just hit me in the chest, and that was their launch pad. Now, I had read about it. I understood that it was a program to help the small business owners. And as a part of being accepted into that launch pad, you got to come and vend at Vogue. And guys, where they had the launch pad set up, they kind of set them up to be successful because they were out in the hallway, but you couldn't get past them. You had to pass them to either go up or down from the escalators. They were right there, right before the door. And my count might be off, but it was probably like 8 of them. And if there were 8 of them, 6 of them I never heard of. 6 of them I was meeting for the first time. 6 of them were completely brand new to me. And I was so very taken aback. And when I say it was diverse, I'm talking age diverse. I'm talking race diverse. I'm talking about where they came from in this country or outside of the country diverse. It was just Vogue listened. Vogue listened, and that made me feel good. Now, I did not work the floor like I normally do because my job was booth bathing. So Sunday, I purposely, if you watch my video, you'll see Sunday I purposely walked around to get to see, and I got an opportunity to stop and talk to the vendors that were there at the launch pad as I was walking through. And you can see that in the video. I'll link to that again. Wonderful. So, what'd you get, Gigi? What'd you get? Nothing. I don't shop. I haven't shopped, and I don't know how long. This time, I just absolutely didn't have the time. And to be honest, I really didn't have the desire. I did walk around and I saw a ring that I wanted, but when I went to her booth, I did not have my bag with me. And by the time I thought to try to come back, it just didn't work. But I'm going to order it online. I will put the name of the company in the down bar. I can't think of it off the top of my head, so forgive me. But she has a ring. It's a circle with like, it looks like it has texture in it. It looks like seed stitch is what it reminded me of. And I love it. I love a dramatic ring. So I'm going to get that. And then I was just seeing that she's going to be at Stitches. So I'm going to get that ring. So what I do always get is gifts, right? I always get gifts. As much as I tell folks they don't have to, I always get gifts. So I want to show you that. I think I have everything here. So we'll start with Mr. B. I went to see Stephen B, and he was busy in a class. And if you watch the video, you'll see that I went into his class because his manager was like, no, he would want to see you. So come on, I'll take you into his class. So I went into his class. And I'm going to take pictures because the glare from where I'm sitting, the natural light is blowing this out. So I apologize. It's looking pink on here, but it's so not. But this is Miss Babs. It's called Babette. The color is called Dancing Spirit. And you know what, Miss Babs, you get 5,000 yards. This is 560 yards. And it's superwash. So I have 3 of these. And I'm going to take pictures, and I'll insert the pictures so you guys can see. Because this is a nice peachy. It puts me in the mind of Georgia peach, but it's a little darker. So that was the one thing. Then I have, this is from, I'm not sure, deliciously bold hand dyed to express what makes you, you. The colorway is called Campfire. And it says from me to yarn. And I'm not sure if that's the name of the company or not. So forgive me, but I will take pictures. But this is a tweed. I'm digging a tweed. I like my hat. This is 85% merino and 15% Donegal. Do I say that right? I always say it wrong. And this is a fingering weight. So that was another gift. This purple, as you can see, Adela sent that home for Shelby. Shelby wants me to make her something. I'm not sure what, but this purple. Adela's colors are just so flippin' rich. But that's from Adela. That's for the Shelbys. And then I have Seismic Yarn gave me a skein. And I'm sorry with the blowout. You can't see anything. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, the company is called Seismic Yarns. This is extra fine merino and nylon. So like a sock base. And it's called Seismic Butter Sock. And the color is Mandarin Garnet. So that was a gift. And I think this came from one of our neighbors at the booth. This says Mold Knit Yarn, and if I'm thinking correctly, I want to say they were across from us. And again, I'm going to take pictures because you can't see the color of this. Again, this is merino and silk. And that's a sock. And again, I'll take pictures. And another one, this comes from Fiber Art Studios. And I want to say this is the young lady that was in the launch pad. So this is this has a little bit of everything in the darker, the oranges, a little green, a little yellows in here, tan. This has a little bit of everything in it. That's a little purple in there. So that's that. And I think that's everything. So I always tend to get gifts, and I appreciate everyone for their thoughtfulness. Not required, but I can't seem to stop them, so I'm simply going to say thank you. So that was all I have for Vogue, I believe. Oh, I'll talk about one more thing. So also coming up, you guys know that I'll be maker in residence for Squam, and that's June. And then July is the Stitch Together. Remember I was on the panel last year for Stitch Together where they're doing it again, but this year I'm coming back because I'm going to be teaching a class. And my class will be stories and stitches. And I'll be teaching a Pearl Soho pattern. And it is did they put the pattern in here? This is the yarn for it. But it's a cowl. And let's see. Now I need to get the name of the cowl for you guys, but I wanted you to see. And the colors aren't doing any good. I'll take a picture of it. This is more of like a rusty, and this is like a tan. So it's a 2-color cowl that I'll be teaching, and those are the colors that I'll be using. And the cowl that I will be teaching is, yes, it's called the 2-color cotton cowl. 2-color cotton cowl is what I'll be teaching at Stitch Together, and that's in July. So, like I said, stay tuned. If you're not following me on Instagram, that's the best place to follow me, because if you are near the Providence, Rhode Island area and you wanted to attend, I'll let you know when tickets go on sale and all of that other stuff. So that's all I got, guys. I'm tired. I'm still tired, but it's a good tired because yesterday, literally, I was in the bed all day. Like, I could not get myself together. I was in the bed all day and haven't been too far from it today. But I wanted to come and just give you guys my throat. What? I'm sorry, guys. Did that just say Kobe Bryant died? No. Okay, guys, until next week, I will see you guys next Sunday. Let you know what I'm going to do, because believe it or not, I haven't knit in over a week. So, yeah, I will talk to you guys next week. Everybody, thanks for being here. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification button so you know when I upload, you don't miss anything, okay?